Hey guys, I got a request from a couple of you after I did the video of the Workbench toolbox that I put in. And they were asking about these two radial arm saws and how I did it and what I would do differently. And so I thought I would just give you a quick video of that. The whole idea is this is my primary crosscut saw, and I rarely swing it around. I've got a DeWalt miter saw that I use for all my angle cuts. So I use this primarily for the cutoff saw, and I use this a little bit at a time for dadoing. And so I leave a dado blade set up on it, and then just a good finish cut crosscut on this one. And I did it so that the entire workbench here is 32 feet long, so I can literally put any length board I want to, 16 and under, and cut any part of it, and it works really well. So I'm gonna move the camera around a little bit and let you see how I did it. And I can tell you what I would do differently would be I would have cut it, put a junction right here with the two guys underneath here, so that this would have been, I'd have the ability to separate, unbolt this part of the work counter, have it cut off down here and up here, so that I could literally unbolt it and remove it, so that I have access to these. Because right now, if I want to take one of these out or replace it or anything like that, I'm gonna have to cut it out. So I wish I would have done that to start with, but I didn't think about it. So if you were gonna do something like that, I would definitely make it where you can gain access to it, to change it, alter it, or remove it, or put something new in place of it. But I'll show you how I did the work underneath there too, just to give you an idea. The other thing that I would do on here, since I don't swing these around for any reason, was I didn't really know about the aluminum fences that you have on your, some of your table saws, but on your shapers and router tables, things like that. And I'm going to route some trenches in here with some quick connect, some way that I can put them in place when I want to extend this fence, but to have it with the extruded aluminum where I can put stops on there, slide stops, lock it down for doing a bunch of repetitive cuts. That's something that would be fantastic, because I do a lot of work on stuff that ends up cutting a lot of the same length pieces on furniture or on benches, things like that. So this will get replaced with some type of extruded aluminum fence that you see a lot in shops, so that I can utilize the different tools they have to add on to it. So that's definitely another thing that I would do differently. I'm just going to move the camera around a little bit here where you can see from the top side, and then I'll actually go down underneath there and show you what I've got. I've got a framework that these sit on, that both of the saws sit on this framework, and I just did the measurements and things so that I knew with the thickness of the workbench counter top that it would work out perfectly. And it didn't take a whole lot of figuring to make it happen. So let me show you what I've got underneath here. The one thing that I would definitely do though is remember to extend your work area out if you're gonna do it. I put these little additions on here just to give me some extra cut space out here and stability when I'm putting something a little wider on top of here. But it has worked out phenomenally well. I really, really, really enjoy it. And I don't know if you can see, but it's just standard structure underneath here that supports it all. And like I say, the only thing I would do different was that I'd already mentioned about being able to access the framework underneath here. But I'm super happy with it. The other thing that I'm going to do is add a little bit of woodwork in here and continue this counter and fill in the back. I have this one homemade dust chute, which I'll show you, that dumps into a bucket in the bottom, but still creates a lot of dust. I'm in the process of putting the right stuff together to put in a dust exhaust, and I'm not going to do it quite like you see most of them, and I'll show you what I'll do when I get ready to do it. But if I had all of this solid, a lot of this dust that went down and makes a terrible mess under the bench would disappear, because I'll have dust extraction going on, so it'll catch most of it. And I've seen some pretty neat little attachments that can go on the back side of the blade on chop saws, and I know it'll work the same on these. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, and then get rid of the chips that way, or the sawdust that way. So I hope that helped you a little bit, you know, and hope you can use some piece of that in your shop. This is the little dust chute, and most of it goes down in there, and then at the bottom of that is a bucket underneath there, and it dumps down in there, and probably 90% of it ends up down there, but it makes a heck of a mess underneath the bench. Even though I've got a bucket under it to catch it, it still makes a mess. So I'll be happy when I get the other system put in. So I hope this has helped, and you know, I look forward to seeing the different stuff that y'all do as well.